a podcast where you don't need an invite to join the conversation. Welcome to Add Me to the Group Chat.
It probably does.
That's all.
Oh, yeah, you can hear you swallow. That is insane. What if,
Really, honestly.
what if it was Jared?
Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy.
I cried.
Jeremy, what?
So it's like the whole transition of, he was over a lot, they dated, but I mean, we still had our own homes. You know, are you about to cry?
Yeah, this is a lot.
Do you not know this story?
No, it's fine.
Oh.
It's just, I did not. First of all, Angel was like, we're not going to go this. We're not going to talk about
This is
this.
the...
Doesn't that sound so good?
Mm-hmm.
You need to probably get closer. How does it feel? Yeah.
I think my leg's going to sleep.
Oh, gosh. What'd you hit?
My phone fell. It's fine.
Oh.
I'm going to put my phone down. Does that sound better?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay. Hello. This is awkward.
First of all, it's very late at night. This is Add Me to the Group Chat after dark. So, no one's home, so we decided that it was time to record. But you guys, this is my sister, Angel. And everyone thinks that she's an angel. Facts.
Sometimes.
Facts. They're like, oh my gosh, Amber, you're so sassy, but your sister's so sweet. That's what they say.
I can be sassy.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely
You can be sweet too.
Yeah.
I'm just sweet more of the time.
Yeah,
Most
Angel
of the
doesn't
time.
want to ruffle feathers, and I love to ruffle feathers.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, get mad, get mad. All right, well, let's really get down to the bottom of it.
Okay.
So growing up together was kind of wild because we're 4 years apart. Yep, we have all the tea to share, kind of. But do you want to talk about growing up together now, or do you want to talk about your reality now? What we've been doing recently? What do you want to start with, Angel?
I don't know. I'm a little like, I don't know what to say. I feel like, well, I guess if we're going to go into that, we got to tell them a little bit
Yeah.
about what's going on.
Yeah. Angel basically.
We've been living together for 2 years. But I live outside in a camper.
Yeah. It started by Angel's son was like, well, my nephew, he's like, I want to have land, buy land, like begging. And they're like, finally, like, they're like, yeah, okay, let's sell the house. Let's purchase some land. So everything's happening and it happened so fast. But then you want to custom build a home and it's so insane. So yeah, it's better to live in a camper if you can.
Financially than renting.
Than renting a home.
Yeah.
But they thought they would be in their house within a year. So it's been 2 years. So a lot happens when you build a house. It's super stressful. But now they did it all for their older son. And now he's
Married
off
and
living his own life.
yeah. He won't even live in the house.
You're like, why the crap did we even do this? No, it's going to be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, we're together all the time. And then whenever I was like, do you want to be on the podcast? I thought she'd be like, no. She's like, what are we going to talk about? And I'm like, I don't know what we're going to talk about. We're just going to see where the conversation goes. We're just talking about life, things.
I like to be prepared. I feel like I'm not prepared.
No, I don't like you to be prepared for this. I like it just to see where it goes. I think that's more fun. Sometimes just, the conversation's more natural and organic when we just talk. Don't you feel that way? Okay, so Angel was born first, of course, because she's older. Tell us about you as a baby.
Well, the first thing...
What was your first memory? That's hard. Macy?
We have... My first memory is probably triggering, so let's...
Oh.
Like...
Oh, I didn't think that. Oh, gosh. Just kidding. Thought you were going to say, like, when Mom threw you in the pool to swim. That is a trigger.
No, not that. I don't know what my first memory is. What is your first memory?
I feel like I started remembering things whenever I was, like, in first or second grade.
Am I in that memory?
No, I just feel like that's the age where I retain information. Before that, I think it's like a blur.
I remember stuff when I was 4.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's like bits and pieces. But you were a preemie.
Yeah. I was born at, I don't remember how many
19
weeks.
weeks?
No, it wasn't that early. I was 3 months early. 2 pounds and 10 ounces. And they said if I was a boy, I wouldn't survive.
Yeah, boys are not really fighters. Girls are. Which actually
Boys
is
are more
crazy.
I guess, I don't know the right, wimpy? Is that what they
Yeah.
say? White boys
Oh.
are on the bottom of the,
Like surviving list?
uh-huh.
For the NICU?
Yeah, white boys.
Oh, I didn't know that. Dang. And girls are just fighters. Mm-hmm. That's wild.
So it's rank. I don't know all the ranks, but I just know that.
Yeah, well, you
White
were in the
boys are at the bottom.
NICU, so you hear that from Mom, and then you had Jasper was in the
Yeah.
NICU, so that's a big thing. Yeah, that's crazy. But you were like, the doctors were like, she's not going to survive. They were telling Mom that.
I had my lungs collapsed, and I guess it was right after I came out. It was a C-section, and I have a scar, so I had surgery, but I hadn't had any issues with that since then. The only other issue I have is when I go get blood drawn, that they say my veins are real little, that they're hard to see, and I don't know if that has something to do with being a preemie or not.
It probably does.
That's all.
Oh, yeah, you can hear you swallow. That is insane. What if I take one ear out? Whoa. You might have to move your mouth away when you do that.
Okay.
We'll
I think
see.
I'm done because it's cold.
You know who's going to love that sound effect?
Alan.
Yeah.
I thought about that, the chips, when I was doing it.
Oh my gosh, he's such a nightmare to eat with. It's really annoying.
Well, let's talk about, this can bring into the subject about
All right, let's go. Let's do this.
when we, not bad about Alan, but when we were building our house. I mean,
Yeah.
sold our house and was
Yeah.
going to live here. And we were like, where are we going to live? We could buy a camper. But our goal was to stay here just
Yeah.
for like a couple months
I
and then
know.
move to the property
With the camper.
with the camper.
Yes.
And live. And I'm so thankful that we're not doing that because it would be more miserable.
But if y'all had sewage, and like if you actually could have like an actual hookup,
Yes.
it wouldn't be bad. But none of that was done to do.
No. But cooking
I
and
don't know
stuff.
where. Yeah, wherever y'all have cooked, y'all would have been camping every freaking night. No, you couldn't have done it.
I couldn't have done like a full meal. We would have been eating like
Crap.
hamburger helper. You know, like stuff like that. That would have just one pot thing.
Yeah, you can't do that. That was the
And the
goal.
refrigerator is so little in a camper.
I told Alan too. I was like, I don't know why I always say. I'm like, everybody can just live here. Like it's fine.
He didn't want us to live here.
He didn't. He sure didn't.
He's
You know
ready for
why?
us to get out.
You know why though? He actually loves y'all being here, but he just knows like it's not
Really?
as short. Yeah, he does. It's not as short as you think it's going to be. Do you know what I mean? Like he's like,
No.
yeah, no, it always ends up being longer. I
Yeah.
think that's what creeps him out because he's like, is everybody going to get along? I actually get on Angel's nerves, so
I mean, I get on your nerves.
yeah. There's a lot of times she's in the house and she's like, going to the camper, stomp, 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 stomp.
But I don't do that being ugly.
No, you're just over it. You're just done.
Well, I feel like being at y'all's space. Like, I'm in here working during the day, and most of the time when the kids are in school, you're not here. So I'm by myself. And then everybody comes home, I feel like I'm invading y'all's territory.
Yeah.
Like we thought when we first moved in, oh, we're going to have movie nights and stuff. We hadn't had
We
one
had
movie.
one,
We go to our camper.
Yeah, Angel and I have only watched one show together in 2 years. Y'all, that is crazy to think about. Everybody just does their own thing. We did that one. Who was out of town? Everybody was gone. I don't know what was going on.
I don't remember.
But we sat here and we watched something. Some
Was
series.
it your birthday or my birthday?
I don't remember. But I remember we sat and watched it. It was like something we really wanted to watch. We were like, oh, yeah, let's watch it now. So we did, but nobody was here. So I don't know what was happening. It was kind of
And
like,
we've probably gone shopping or gone together maybe 2 or 3 times since I've lived here.
yeah, we basically don't know each other. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi. I'm your sister.
But Angel is she does a lot, but one of the things that she does is so funny because anytime my friends call or something's going on like in the world, she's like, "Oh, I know. I already got the tea. I already know what's going on." So I was on TikTok.
That's where I get my news, TikTok.
Yeah, so it's like TikTok news. So Angel has all the things to share. And even when TikTok was out, I don't feel like in 2020 you were like heavy on watching it. I think over time you've become heavier.
No, like I turned it on and I thought it was stupid. Like I thought it's just all these people doing dances and
Yeah.
I'm never going to do a video. And then I did a couple videos like of cooking and I put a couple cake, but I really did like 3 or 4 videos. And then I thought, I'm not doing this. Nobody's watching my you know what I mean?
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
just
yeah.
do a couple things.
Yeah.
But then when TikTok shut down and came back in December or January, I was like, you know what? All these people making all this money. I'm going to start doing videos. And I've been consistent since, I think it's been like January 20th or something.
As soon as it came back that day.
Maybe it wasn't the 20th. Whatever day it came back. I was like, I'm going to start making videos. And I started doing 3 videos a day.
Yep.
And I'm almost to 5,000 followers. So that's good. Now, listen, there's
You
some
were at
people.
like 300.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have anybody.
Yeah. So these are all new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
tell
enjoy
us
it.
about it.
Well, like what I put on there.
Yeah, just like how you really feel about it and what you want to do with it. Because I think that's really interesting. Most people are not consistent on social media.
I've been consistent. I think really engagement. Now, I've noticed like the past 3 days, I have not really had the time to engage because I've been so busy. So I haven't really gained new followers the past couple of days. So I can tell if I even just post videos and I'm not engaging. I don't mean I engage on my videos, but I mean on other people's videos. If you're not doing that, you're not gaining people. It'd be wonderful if I do one video and gain like, you know, there's people that gain like 1 million followers on one video.
I know.
Now, listen, I did a video the other day and it was stupid. I can't even tell you what it's about. Stupid, I wasn't going to post it. And I was like, we were together.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my goodness, 17,000 people watched this video. But I got no new followers from it, no engagement from it. It was just sort of like a fluke. So I don't really understand.
What pushed it?
Yeah, I don't understand.
And then like what stopped it? Do you know what I mean? Like why did it stop? Yeah. No, I don't know. But tell us like, because you have TikTok insight. Like I feel like you, as soon as you were being consistent, you were like, you remember when Courage is over here and you were like, this is what you need to do? Tell them how you do that. Because I think that because you kind of study.
Well, when I
do
first
it.
started doing videos, the trend going around when it came back was teamwork, engagement. So like a lot of those were picking up on my feed. So I would engage in that and then you go like everybody's comment in those same, because those same people want to grow.
Yep.
So you go follow them, you like all them, they come and like yours. You start engaging, and when you engage on someone's post, you pop up on their stuff and they pop up on your stuff. So that's where the engagement comes up. But it's weird. Sometimes you think you have it figured out, and I'm like, everything I'm doing is working, and then it quits. Like you post something and nobody watches it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just did the same sort of like, because they say take your format video. Is that the cat?
Yeah.
Take your format video that does good and just keep on recreating that, but change it up.
Yeah.
So I do that, and then it will be like, so I don't know I don't think anybody knows.
No, I don't either. And I was listening to a podcast today. Gosh, I cannot remember this girl's name because you would know who she was or who she is. But she, I think for 2 years, she's been posting 5 videos a day. She does a lot of YouTube shorts. Mm-hmm. But she's a really pretty girl. And I thought she was like an actress, but she's not. Like she just kind of started on social media. She's done some things like pageants or whatnot and all of that. But anyway, she was talking about she posts 5 times a day and she studies social media all the time. Like everything, the trends change. But her advice was, and I think this is really hard to do, but she's like, you have to do something unique to yourself. Mm-hmm. Like stop copying what everybody else is doing. Mm-hmm. But if you do copy them, give them recognition, like give them a shout out or something, like the original person, which you're really good at doing. Because like if you see something or...
I had a girl, her name is Macy, we follow each other, and she did a video, and I'm like, oh, that is so cool. And I don't remember what it was. It was something that she taught me. It was like, hold down the comment thing, and then that's when the emojis come up or something like that. So I tagged her. I did the video over, but I tagged her and said, thank you for sharing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So...
yeah.
I try, but...
yeah. Because as a creator, even if it's like you're just starting to create, it's annoying if somebody's like, you're like, I literally just did that. Now everybody else is doing it. It's kind of annoying. But anyway, so I think you're really good at that. But I thought that was cool to hear her say that today. She's like, it's easy, jump on a trend, but like, do your own stuff.
People will follow you for those trends, but people, if they come and then all your other stuff is, they're
Same
not interested
stuff.
in it, then they're not going to follow you.
Yeah. They're not going to stay there. So anyways, TikTok is really good. I don't think it's going anywhere. Like, I actually don't think it's going anywhere.
I hope not. And my goal is really to get to 10,000 so I can be monetized and start making money.
Yeah.
Now, I am making money on TikTok Shop. $3.66. That's all I paid. But some people that do TikTok Shop, that's all they do is they post TikTok Shop videos. And you really have to post like 5 to 10 a day.
Yeah.
And once you start making money, you can get free samples and stuff like that. I don't understand all that. And I don't want to spend my own money and buy all this stuff. And then I have bought a couple things and I've gotten it and it was trash. And I'm like, I ain't going to do a video because I wouldn't want somebody to buy this from me and not trust me. So I only post videos of stuff I like.
Yeah.
And it's mostly stuff I already had, like clothes that I bought and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or stuff I use for videos.
Yeah. Which I think is good to do.
Yeah.
Don't recommend something that's garbage because then somebody's going to be like, girl, she says that all the time. You know what I mean? She just says it just to make a buck.
I don't trust you.
Yeah. They're not going to come back. Yeah.
But people are saying with TikTok Shop that even posting videos you think, oh, I didn't make a sale this week. Some people are saying it takes 2 to 3 months and then all of a sudden their video is popping off and they're making money off of video. So it just,
Well, and I was telling you last week, I was like, take that same product and do another video about it.
I need to and I haven't.
Yeah. So like, don't just do like a one and done. Do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do more Amazon reviews, actually. I said that like last week. I just have to schedule that in because I buy so much stuff from Amazon.
I'm an Amazon affiliate too, but I hadn't done one video.
Yeah, we need to do more of that. Yeah. It's hard when you try to do multiple platforms. That's what's challenging because you only have so much time unless you're repurposing that same content for every single platform, whatever.
And it's hard unless you said that I need to start editing on another thing.
Platform.
And I'm just used to, I edit on TikTok.
Yeah. Yep. If you edit, I think for you, because you edit on a phone, if you do CapCut and you just edit on that, take that, then you can upload it to any site, but then you have the original edit on your phone.
Yeah.
Because when you edit on the platform, it's on
it
the
has
platform.
their music, their stuff, so then I have to put it on something else and take that off. So if I could do a voiceover and I have music with it, I can't use it.
Yeah. I used to edit on platforms all the time, but now I stopped, and it's so much easier. Because,
that is the cat that when they go out of town and I sleep in there, that has made me bleed twice.
I don't understand it. I say this every time I'm going to put the cats up in recording, but I don't really know where they're at whenever I like start the process.
They're all right here.
Yeah, they're very much into what we're doing. Every time they've gotten up at the camera and they walked like in front of it too, each recording. So hopefully they don't do that.
Curious.
Yeah, they're really nosy. Yeah, so anyways, I need to do more of that. But yeah, you need to do that. Edit on CapCut. Mm-hmm. You'll be happier with that. Everybody says that. I've never used that. I think you have to pay for it though.
But I think too, like talking about doing videos, we're a little bit different.
Yeah. How?
You don't care what somebody thinks.
Facts.
I do care.
But you know what? I actually do
I take
care.
things personally. Not saying you don't care, but you let a little things roll off a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you want to talk about like you going viral?
Yeah, we can talk about that video. I will have to say, though, I'm not big on social media. Like, I do social media full time. That's the way I market my product. I've always sold cosmetics online. Now I have my own beauty brand. Like, I get paid to do any type of marketing for someone else if I'm lucky to get brand deals and stuff like that. It's awesome. Like, that's why I do social media. Mm-hmm. But I would say... So, like, after a while, I'm numb to it because I'm like, people have been mean to me. People have said crap to me. But I'm like, after you hear it so much, which is kind of annoying, but you kind of become like, what the crap? Like, who are you? Like, it's not a big deal. But yes, let's talk about the viral video. So, it was literally a random afternoon. This room was not like it is. There was a couch on this wall. Alan and I were sitting on this couch. I was sitting here editing on my computer and I thought, I really want a cup of coffee. Like, I legit wanted a cup of coffee. And I thought, every now and then I pull out my camera and I just randomly record crap. I don't even process what I'm going to do. I'm just like, I'm going to record asking Alan for a cup of coffee. I want his reaction. Mm-hmm. I want to know what he's going to say. Is he going to be like, in a minute? Is he going to be like, no? Is he going to be like, okay? Like, what is he going to do? I'm just curious. He sees my phone. I'm not hiding it. So I'm editing and I'm tired and I'm like, I need some coffee. Like, that sounds good. I'll have that. Like, whatever. The kids are in the other room tutoring. I think you were in the kitchen. I think everybody was in this room. Like, we were all just
But I didn't know y'all's conversation, but I wasn't here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I pick up the phone and I literally just start recording it. And I try not to edit Alan and I's videos. I try to make them like as real as I can. And I don't set him up. Like, it's not a setup. I would ask him this even if the camera wasn't on. So I just said, Alan, can you get me a cup of coffee? And he looked at me and he was like, are you kidding? Like, are you kidding me?
But I think, come to his defense, he knew you want a reaction.
He does know I want a reaction. And he saw the camera.
Yeah.
So he's just like feeding into it.
Yeah.
And he thinks it's funny. And we pick like that. Even though people think that's not healthy. Like, red flag, red flag. I'm like, we joke. Like, get a grip. It's fine. But then he kept on. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, you are really not stopping. And so we finished the recording. My phone dies. I had literally 1%. The phone's dead. And he actually gets me a cup of coffee. Like, it's fine. He gets me a cup of coffee. I drink my coffee. I finish editing on my computer. And I was like, hey, will you go get your phone? And I actually recorded him bringing me my coffee. But I recorded it on his phone. So the next day, I went to IKEA. I think it was the next day or the following day. I don't know. It was like quick. I think it was a Friday morning. I went to IKEA. I was sitting in the parking lot and I was like, oh, let me edit this video. So I put a caption over the video and it said, asking my husband for coffee to get his reaction or something like that. And that video, like, I posted it at like, I don't know, 10 whenever I could walk
it was in the morning.
Store.
I had people calling me an hour after you post, and I'm not going to say anybody's names. 3 people called and said,
is she okay?
What has your sister posted? And I was like, I don't know. And I went and watched it and I was like, oh, Alan looks so bad. But I know him and I know that wasn't him. And then people were just going, acting like he was the worst husband in the world. And so then I was offended because I wanted to go to like his rescue and say, you don't know who he is. Don't say that. But then it's like, that wasn't going to help on social media. They were going to come bash me.
This is before you started posting consistently on TikTok.
Oh, yeah. So I'm like, I don't want people to say that.
Yeah, yeah. So Alan had a work hat on or something. Everybody's like, oh my gosh. Like, not even everybody, but like my family was like, oh my gosh, what if they come after his business? Oh my gosh. And I was like.
Because it was like a red flag.
Yeah.
Totally
like,
red flag.
What is he going to get canceled on the internet that he's never on? Like, you know, I don't, like, what are they going to do? Call his company?
But listen, let's just say, not with me. I have not had one rude comment on TikTok.
Not.
But Instagram, I've had one. And it was back in the day. We can talk about that in a minute. But there are crazy people on the internet.
There are crazies. I know. I'm definitely aware. So this is what I just want y'all to hear the backstory to this. Because y'all probably think I'm such a jerk wife. Could care less about his feelings. Well, that is false. So I go in the store. And then I post it. I come out and I'm like, oh my gosh. It has like 6,000 views or something crazy. Courage is with me or something. I'm like, I just posted this video. She watches it and she's cracking up and she's like, oh my gosh. And she's like, I feel like what, like, you know, she's just talking about it too. Then we go to our next destination where we're supposed to be. Now it's like at 15,000. And I'm like, 15,000? What the crap? Why?
And it wasn't just watching. People were commenting.
Like, now I have 100 comments or something dumb. Then TikTok starts sending me like
violation stuff.
Yeah, like, well, they're like, you can block people that are being mean to you, basically, whatever that is. So I turned that on. I was like, well, yeah,
censor certain words if they say
I'm
them.
like, let me do that. Cool. Now it's at 30,000. By the time I got home, it was over 100,000. And I was like, I have never posted something in one day and got 500 views. Let's be clear. Okay. Now I'm at 100,000. This is insane. By the end of that night, it was at 1 million. The next day, it was at 2 million.
And that's when people started taking his face.
Yes.
And doing videos. And I was seeing them. people that I
On
know
your
that I follow.
FYP.
And and I was like, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. It's weird too because he doesn't do social media.
No.
But he's given me full permission. Let me just also tell y'all, he didn't know I posted that video. Like, he knew I recorded it. He just didn't know I actively posted it. But I did tell him, I think like after 3 hours and it was like 15 or 20,000 views, I was like, I will delete it. Like, if you want me to delete this, I could care less. I will delete the video. It's not a big deal. He was like, it's fine. Keep it on. I don't care what people say. So the whole day I told him that. The whole next day I told him that. The third day I told him that. He still was like, I don't care. But he was also annoyed that people were being so freaking rude. But he was also like, now I'm mad that it's out there. But then by the third day and it's at 2 or 3 million and everybody else has already taken that footage, if I delete my video, that doesn't stop the video from being out there. So I told him
because people have saved it and shared it.
Yeah, I'm like, now, even though I erased it, it doesn't take it away. People have it. And he was like, oh, well, yeah, keep it up. Like, then it was like, whatever. It's at 16 million. I wish I got paid off of that video, but I didn't.
Well, talk about this sort of offset, but the same. I watched some video of a guy today that he went viral on a video, and he's over 10,000, so he's monetized, okay?
Yep.
And let me get this right. He's a fireman or an EMT or something, and he was like, y'all, I'm coming to make this video. I need a suit. He had something going on, and he said, I'm hoping the money I make off this video, I can buy a suit. So all these people were like sharing and commenting and blah, blah, blah. I don't even know what it got up to, crazy. He did a video today saying that TikTok came back and said, we're not going to pay you.
Off that video?
Yeah, because it was some kind of violation. No,
What?
It was not, oh goodness, what was it? Content that they want you to do your own content that's not, oh, Amber.
Now I'm trying to think of what it would be. It's not your
What's
original?
the word? Not original content. And he was like, original? I'm sitting and doing the video and you can see my face. I'm speaking to the camera. So how is that not
Weird.
original? So he didn't get paid.
Did he maybe he did and we don't know, but did he contact TikTok about that?
People say when you contact, it's not like a real person. It's a
not.
bot. So even when someone hacks you and you can't get in touch with somebody to get, all that kind of stuff. So anyway. So then you can think
you
you're going
said
to.
something too about somebody. She was monetized, but now she's not.
Oh yeah, just all of a sudden took it away. And she said, on TikTok you can go on there and you can see if you have any violations. I do that all the time to make sure have I done something wrong? Because if so, I'll delete a video. She said she's never had any violation. All of a sudden they're like, you're not monetized anymore.
And she can't get it back.
I mean, she's put a thing in, but she hadn't heard back.
That is weird.
So that's a little scary. You do all that work and then it's like they can just take it away for
what?
Yeah, it's like, do they decide you're making too much money, we don't want to pay you?
I don't know, but I do listen to a lot of content creators online that use different platforms, and they say TikTok is always the trickiest when it comes to posting because everything's AI.
Yeah.
It's not a real person looking at the content. They might pick up one thing from the video or hear something and they're like, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, and they have to delete it or take it down or do whatever. So I have heard that and I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And sucks because you're like, nothing's wrong with it. And then you can't defend it because you have nobody to talk to.
This has turned into a social media podcast.
It has. I didn't know. See, I told you, you don't know where the conversation's going to go. Angel's like, what are we going to talk about? I was like, I have no freaking clue. And I don't want to plan it.
One of the sponsors for the podcast on Add Me to the Group Chat is Blush Beauty. Blush Beauty is owned by myself, Amber Lykins, so you can always find the product on my personal website, amberlykins.com. But I want to talk to you about some of our products and why they are so amazing. Honestly, just having a place at home that you feel like you have luxurious products, but you don't have to pay the high sticker price that you do typically in the stores because of all the overhead. This is a small business and it's all made with very clean and natural ingredients that are just simple. You don't ever have to worry about reading the back of the label or the product and thinking, I don't even know what that is. What is that on my body? So I really wanted to focus on having really great high grade products and ingredients that you can have right at your fingertips. So anytime that you are ready for a bath or even a hot shower, the products come in handy, from exfoliating your skin to just getting super cleansed. And let me tell you about getting deodorant off underneath your armpits. The soap really does take it off so well, and you don't feel stripped of all the natural like oils and things that your skin really needs. And then when you're done with your shower, putting on the body cream or even the body butter, just to give your skin some nice hydration depending on time of year and what your mood is like. It really makes a difference, but I love them because the scent of them is just not overpowering, but it's just really romantic and soothing. I'm so excited about my product line, not only for myself and my kids and my husband. We enjoy using all these, but they get the best reviews. So head over to amberlykins.com, check out the body care line, use Amber at checkout for 20% off. And I am so thankful that you're here, and I cannot wait to get your product shipped and packaged to you right here from our home office. All right, well, let's get back to the podcast.
Don't want to plan it.
But anyway.
That was really good. What did somebody say to you on Instagram? You were like...
Do you remember, because I called you and I was really crying. They said, no, I do have big eyes. Do you remember that? They talked about my eyes. Do you remember what they said?
But why would somebody pick on your eyes?
And then this is when my oldest son was still at home. And was he 16, 15? So then he knew I was upset, and they said something about... I don't know. It was an ugly comment. I don't remember. But it was triggering because we can go back to talk about being kids. When I was in elementary school, and I'm going to say his name.
Oh, call him out.
Jeremy Farr was his name.
Jeremy, if you're listening to this, you little jerk.
And my name is Angel. My maiden name was Small. And there were times when I was a little chunkier. So he called me Devil Big.
Oh, what a
Did you not ever know that? Like in elementary school, that's what he always called me, Devil Big. Yeah. I got a little heavy in 4th grade because I had some trauma.
Devil Big? What a jerk.
He called me Devil Big. And so I think when
I was
that
so
person...
little, though. If you were in 4th grade,
you
like,
wouldn't know.
I'm like
Yeah.
kindergarten.
When that person said big and just talk about my eyes, it's funny how things can take you back.
Yeah.
And I think it brought that. And I was like, I mean, I really honestly...
What if it was Jared?
Jeremy!
Oh, Jeremy.
I really cried. I cried.
Jeremy what?
I think it's Farr. Jeremy Farr.
Yeah, I'm coming after you.
But listen, he's probably a good guy, and he does follow me on some
He does?
I think on Facebook.
Well, good. I'm glad we called him out.
But I do remember that. You don't ever know
Yeah.
when you do something to somebody. And he probably never thought nothing of it. He was just being a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He might have liked me back in... You know what I mean? You just don't know.
Yeah. Well, because like boys, when they like a girl, they're jerks. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they
he might have
pick.
thought I was cute or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yeah.
then if you think somebody's cute, why are you calling her...
Devil
Big.
Yeah, that's a weird maiden name that we have. Or would it be our maiden name? Is that what you call that? A maiden name?
Yeah, it was Small.
Yeah, it was Small. I just think it's weird. But you know, Biggie Smalls? Mm-hmm. They would call me Smalls, like Biggie Smalls. Like they would.
But you weren't a bit
make
big.
No, but after like the rapper. So
Yeah.
I would get
I know
called
who he
like,
is.
Yeah. Oh. And then I had like really curly nappy hair. People would call me Bush. Because my
Bush?
hair was like bushy, like bush.
Oh.
And I was very self-conscious over like my hair. Yeah, it really does stick with you. So like it's,
Yeah.
I hate that. We're really big, like Angel and I both like, you better be nice. Like to our boy, we're constantly on them. Like,
Be kind.
yeah, don't be a little jerk out there. Ugh, I hate it. Yeah.
So anyway, we got off subject. I don't know
That's
what I was
crazy.
saying. But yeah. Oh, talk about the social media thing.
Yeah, about somebody commenting on Instagram. Is
That's
that
the
why-
only ugly comment.
Oof, they're coming.
Eventually, if you put yourself out there, people are going to be mean to you.
Yeah.
And say something.
But-
But I think now that I've realized, if they do,
You've become way more confident in your older age.
but I still do care. Like, I want people to like me. But I don't mean like me like... I don't want people to think bad of me.
Yeah.
I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah.
They don't have to be my friend.
Yeah. There's just no need to be rude.
Yes.
Your favorite word growing up, which is like cringe to me, is ugly. Angel's like, don't be ugly.
Stop being so ugly.
Ugly. U-G-L-Y. Like, I'm like, ah. So now as an adult, I'm like, I cannot say that word. I'm just be kind. I say kind. My
Yeah.
kids are probably going to hate that when they get older. I'm like, I hate that word.
Maybe.
Because you hear it so much.
But even what I was going to say is about Levi. He was like 15 or 16 when this happened. He got on social media.
Oh my gosh.
And went and we called you, and you and him both went and sent that person a message.
We did?
Come to find out, they weren't a real person. They had nothing on their social media.
Yeah.
There was nothing. So they could have been a real person, but just going and saying something ugly about all the videos. And I don't understand why people do that. What do you get by being rude or ugly to somebody? You know what I mean?
You have to think if it is a real person or if it's like AI or something, but if they are just out to be hateful, then you have to think something's wrong with them.
That's a
them problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't take that on. But it does hurt. I mean, obviously you're like, well, that was not nice. Hello. Like I was feeling really good about myself. Now I feel like self-conscious about myself. Yeah, that freaking sucks. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you get past it. Oh, this is what I was going to say. But when you build your organic, like authentic audience that you have, they will go to bat for you without you having to say something. Because that TikTok video that went viral, I had all of these other people commenting.
That know you.
Yeah, I didn't comment back, but they were commenting on behalf of me, right? So it's like, then you have that if you do have some hate. But yeah, and then people come out of the woodworks and you're like, oh my gosh, Angel went and delivered a cake the other day and I was with her. And these people were like, and we know them, but she was like, oh, I love watching your TikTok. Angel's like, oh my gosh, please don't ever tell me that.
I got so embarrassed. So embarrassed because I was like, oh, somebody that really knows me is watching my TikToks. And I didn't know she was because she hadn't commented or liked or anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's you just don't know who's watching your stuff. Everybody that knows you is watching your stuff.
Yeah.
They're just not saying. And the people that are the most supportive, just like I'm your sister, I'm not the most supportive person on your social media because I know you.
Right.
It's people that you really don't know.
Right. No, for sure. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oof. Is this a social media conversation?
Maybe. I guess it's turned into.
I didn't know.
What if in next year, this time that I'm sitting here and I have all these followers?
That'd be crazy. Like you already hit 1 million.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be sick.
And not that I'm here for all the followers. I just want to get to at least 10,000.
Well, this is the thing. And I say this a lot to myself, but I'll say it out loud here. Social media is not, there has to be an end game. Like it's not just like, I just want to keep posting every day because I'm bored, right? Like there's a purpose to it. So people online, it's to build visibility. And you want some type of awareness of what you do. So typically people on social media, they're building awareness for whatever they sell or whatever operation of business they have or something. So your ultimate goal is to bring more awareness to what you do for work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
for cakes.
Yeah, and when you can ship all the different funky ways, like when it's in the States or if it's overseas or if you sell in store, like maybe one day your cakes can be in stores and they're packaged. Like you just don't know, like, what that can look like. And so I personally, there are some people on social media that just post for fun and they work full time somewhere else and they could care less. But I think probably 90% of people on social media, they have some type of purpose as a creator. So you just have to think about that too. You're not just doing it for, let me just see. You're doing it, there's some type of like end result. But you know the girl, because I hadn't told you this yet because this happened so fast, but Michaela, that's been on TikTok for like 5 years.
Yeah, she did makeup.
Yeah, so now she has a POV beauty is what it's called. So that's like her beauty line.
I started watching her before anybody was watching her.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
But so then as she got blew up, and see, she got a lot of negative stuff too.
She did.
And you don't know it. You know, when people do a video, now that I do some videos, and just like that video with you, you post like a 30-second video and people think they really know you.
They don't.
I could post 15 videos a day that are a minute long, and that's not even 10 minutes of my day. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
So.
Yep. And a lot of creators say, they're like, y'all only know like 10% of our whole life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even though they might vlog during the day or they might do something, but you're like, this is actually 10% of what I do. Like I'm not showing you everything. But I was really excited about her. I've been watching her for maybe 1.5 years or 2 years. And I'm just like, she does some really cool makeup stuff. But then a month ago, she announced that she has her own beauty brand, POV Beauty. And she posted a video, I guess, like of a recap or something. But it was about her going to, she was crying on this TikTok video. And she was like, I'm going to Korea. You know, and I was watching it now thinking like, oh my gosh, like back then 2 years ago, she was going to Korea.
So it started.
Yeah. And she announced like now she was like, I was crying then about going to Korea. Y'all just probably thought I was going, but I was going to start my makeup brand. So she's been like doing this, curating it for 2 years. And so I've noticed her messaging for a long time has been take care of your skin, prep your skin. It's about like she's been saying that verbally for a while. So it makes sense. I'm like, duh, she knew what she was doing. You know what I mean? So now her brand is talking about skin prep for makeup. And she did it POV because everybody's point of view is very different. So she kind of markets to anybody, everybody type of thing. But I say all this because 5 years ago, she started on social media doing TikToks every day. She quit her job at Ulta. And this is, I could be way wrong, but this is just me recapping off of something she said. So I'm probably missing a lot. And she was like, I think I can do this full time, do content. So she's made a good living doing it now. But then now, 2 years ago, obviously she has a big brand. But, she has to have investors. Like, this is a huge brand. Like, all the marketing they've done, I'm like, you got to have investors. There's no way you're doing this independently. And so she's been doing all this like soft things, like talking about it. And then she just dropped it. Let me just tell you these facts because I hadn't shared this with you because it's freaking insane. Because I still am trying to like process it. So she's been talking about it for some time. And I was getting really excited about like, I want to buy her product.
Yeah.
But she never said how much everything cost, but I'm like, well, I want all of it. You keep seeing it, you want it. So then she made an announcement that she's going to get, maybe I did tell you this, that she's going to give 10 PR boxes away. I didn't tell you this. Maybe I told Courage, but she's going to give 10 PR boxes away, which is like public relations that will send you free product for you to sample it. But she's like, I'm going to send it to non-influencers. So these are ways that you can enter. So you do all this stuff and you enter. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to enter. Like, I don't get PR like that. Like, that would be so freaking cool. And she's like, not only are you going to get the box now, I'm going to put you on my list for a whole year. So every time we relaunch new stuff, you get it.
That's cool.
So I'm like, that's freaking awesome. So I got on the list. I didn't like get picked, obviously, but
I thought you were about to tell me you got picked.
No, I would have freaking lost. Y'all would have already heard about it. Like, I literally was like, oh my God. Because I was doing everything. I was DMing. I was tagging. I was like,
Michaela.
Like, yeah. Hello. I'm like, I'm a regular person just like her, like back in the day. I'm just like, I like people that have come from like, not that she came from nothing, but like, she wasn't anything online and now she is.
She was a normal person.
Yeah, she's just regular.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, that's so cool that she's doing that for people that have a small audience. Like, most brands are like, if you don't have millions, we don't see you type thing. So I was like, that's cool. But then, so those people won. And then maybe like a few days later, she announced the first 100 people that purchased the bundle, they are going to get, she was like, I have full permission to pull 100 PR boxes off the shelf. So I'm going to give the first 100 shoppers an additional full PR box full of like all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, well, now's my chance. Like, make sure I'm the first 100 purchase, So I'm on like the early order thing or whatever, because you can order at 12 p.m. So basically at lunch, EST, or 3 p.m. it's open to everybody on her website. So you have to have a password at 12 o'clock. So they email you a password right at 12. My password didn't come through until like 30 seconds after 12. And I'm like, okay, I still have time, whatever. So I do the thing. Your card's already saved in Apple Checkout.
Yeah.
So I do all that stuff. I check out. It's not even 12:01. I get a text alert. Let me tell you. It said, thank you for your order, all the things. And it was like, your order is 2,000. In not even 1 minute. Like 2,000, it basically like over 2,200 orders. My name was that. I swear I tagged her on IG stories. I was like, am I the first 100? What an idiot I am. She has a million gazillion people. Why would I be the first 100? But I was like thinking my card is saved. I act fast. Like, I didn't hesitate. So depressed. I was really
sorry.
Sad. That sucked.
But that's great for her.
It is great for her. And then guess what? They sold out by 4 o'clock. They launched at 12 EST. By 4 EST, everything was sold out.
And that's really, she's not someone that comes like her family is somebody or something.
Yeah,
or
not
you know
like
what I mean?
her dad or mom was like, hey, babe, like,
Yeah.
we're going to do all this for you. No.
Yeah, that's really cool.
No, it's so cool for her, and I'm very excited for her. But I think it like makes you really think like consistency of showing up every single day. You have to if you want the end game. Like people, that's the visibility. Like you can't. Anyways, that's the way to do it. Like online.
My end game
is what?
I want to be selling some pound cakes.
Yep.
Out of my new kitchen.
Yes.
And I want to pay my house off in 5 years. That's my end game.
That's the end game.
You know what I mean? That's why I want to get to 10,000 followers.
Let me tell you, Angel's pound cakes. I told Olivia that you're going to do lemon. I asked you to do the lemon glaze or whatever. By the way, I told her and I was like, she's going to do a pumpkin with glaze. And then she was like, pumpkin. I was like, I don't even know why I said pumpkin. I mean lemon. Lemon with glaze. And she's very excited.
Good.
But five flavor.
It's my number one seller.
It is. It's so good. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And people want you to ship.
Yes. People ask me.
But you're just not in a place to ship.
No, because even if I did it right now, the cost would go in so much of my profit that it's not worth it. You know what I mean? You really have to have the, space and time and bulk and buying this stuff.
Yeah. And I keep telling Angel, you need an email list.
I hate all that crap. You need to do
your site. But that's the best way. We've got to get that set up for you. Because that's how people will order online.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had a video. This is before I am on Facebook. But when I was being more consistent on Facebook before we sold our house, when I was working more in my business, and this is the great thing about having your own business, you can work as much or less. And right now I'm working, but I'm not able to do what I was doing before we sold the house. So I'm excited to get back in there. But I had a video go viral. You remember when I did tasting boxes?
Yes, yes.
And that went viral. Did it go viral on TikTok? No, it was just on Facebook. And all these people were like, do you ship? Do you ship? So I got a list of emails. You know what? I don't know where all those people's emails are. But I can go back on that same video. I don't know how to do that. But anyway, I still have the video. But it went viral. I think I hit 1 million on that video.
Yeah.
That was cool. So you never know what something's going to do.
Yeah. Well, and people want convenience. They are like, if your stuff is good, everybody want. I mean, we're used to Amazon Prime. Hello. So, like, you want to click a button, you want to order something. If you can get a delicious cake delivered to your house. Yeah, that would be. I don't really think that I know of that there's a company that you can go to their website right now and order a delicious cake. That's a homemade cake.
There's some company, but I don't remember the name of it. You know that Tom Cruise cake that went viral?
Tom Cruise cake.
You don't know stuff about cakes. Like you would ask me something about makeup and I wouldn't know. Even though I did know Michaela. Are you surprised?
How did that beauty blender work out?
I like it.
Okay, good. Okay,
it is better than my dollar store one.
Okay, Angel got
I can feel a difference.
Morphe blender, I think.
The consistency
It was Elf.
It's pointy on one end and it has the flatter on the other.
It was either one of those. I can't remember what it was, but it may have been the Morphe one.
I don't think it was the Elf because I think I remember seeing that.
Okay.
I think we looked at that first and they were sold out.
Something. Yeah. That's good. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Angel's over here using the dollar store blender. She's about to make me.
It's so funny. I can make a cake and decorate a cake. You can do some makeup that is not my cup of tea. I mean, I can put makeup on me, but not.
Yeah.
Not if I wanted to go out and look glam. I would do my makeup.
Yeah. And I cannot decorate a cake.
No.
I'm going to ice it and it's going to be regular. And it might taste good. Yeah, I'm glad you knew Michaela. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like she just blew up quick, seems like. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but shipping cakes.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I am too. I know all your people are too. So let us know. Don't y'all think Angel should have an email list? So when it's available, encourage her to do that, guys.
I need to, but the reason I really don't, you want to get into this? I'm about to bring something up.
I don't care what you
We do have dyslexia.
Oh. I just listened to a podcast when I was in the shower. It's a makeup artist. I do not know her name, but she's the Kardashians' makeup artist. She's dyslexic. Somebody told her that in second grade, her teacher, and she said that defined how I live my life. It definitely changes you.
Yeah.
How do you deal with it every day?
I wish back in middle school
Yeah.
that we had phones like we do now.
I know.
Because I voice text. I voice text so much that on my phone, I have a brand new phone. Just got it 2 months ago. My microphone will go, sorry, not working right now. And have to turn my phone off, turn it back on. Because I use it so much.
Yeah.
Like, I can read. I'm not a great speller.
Yeah.
You're a better speller than me. I don't know the difference of what it is. Mom homeschooled you, and I went to public school.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hated school.
I left for like my high school year, which was good for me, honestly, because I freaking hated school because it's challenging. I'm like, this is always a freaking challenge.
But I think the thing with school is it really messes with your confidence.
Yeah.
I think middle school, high school, where kids are finding themselves and everybody wants to fit in. I don't mean be the popular kid, but everybody wants to be liked, no matter who you are. You want to have friends. And when you're in a class and then you feel like, and no one at home ever told me I'm stupid. So that is not something that we got at home or anything like that. But I think the self-talk I had in myself was, you're not good enough, you're stupid. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that's really the worst thing about it.
Well, because in school, you're compared to how everyone learns. But with dyslexia, it's not that you can't learn, you learn different. And so when you're compared to other people and you're like, oh, you don't learn this way. Oh, you didn't understand that. Oh, you're not picking that up. You know what I mean? Like all those things. Oh, you don't know what that says or whatever. Like it takes you a minute. Like it just, it messes with you. It's not, it definitely messes with your confidence. I think that's why I'm over, I was going to say zealous. I don't even know. But I think that's why I'm like over, like bold. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm just like, I don't care.
You use that to...
it's a mechanism that I use.
What is the word? Do you see what I mean? This is part of dyslexia too, when you know you want to say and you just, it's not coming to you.
I think we need to do NAD. It helps with aging. NAD, it helps with aging in our brain. Yeah, we need to do that.
Something. I don't know.
You think what now? Say that one more time. But I'm extra about everything. I don't really do that as like a coping mechanism, but I think I did it younger because that when I was younger, I wasn't always confident or loud or whatever, but I am now as an adult because I know how to advocate for myself and I don't put up with stuff. So if I feel some type of way, I feel very strongly about voicing my opinion. That's what I mean by like overzealous, like extra. But if I'm like in a conversation with someone too, and I don't like it or like, I just feel like I will step up to like, you know what I mean? If I just want to like, whatever, like, I don't know. I think
that's how you compensate.
Compensate? Was that what you were trying to think about? Compensate. It took you a minute.
I got it.
Yeah, I overcompensate with like my attitude.
And I think I overcompensate with kindness.
Wow.
I think really, you get, you know, what's that saying? The honey and the... You get more...
Yeah, you're sweet. When you're sweeter with honey, you attract something, the bees. Mm-hmm. That.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because in school, if I cocked an attitude or was disrespectful, they would have flagged me as that kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't do that. I didn't get upset. I was very kind. But what I did do is when I didn't want to do something, can I go to the bathroom?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Especially in English class. And let me tell you some English. If you're an English teacher and you watching this and you have a kid that your mama says, no, you got to advocate for yourself. Now go in there and tell her that you don't want to read. Please don't ask me to read in front of the class. And you ask every English teacher at the beginning of the year, please do not make me read. And then when it's time to read and how they go in a line and you know it's your turn.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, Angel, it's your turn. I went up to you and asked you, do not make me read in front of everybody. It's not that I couldn't read. The issue sometimes when you have dyslexia, you're a slow reader. So when you are a slow reader and everyone else is reading fast, that's where you get that thing that people are looking at you like, you don't know that word? What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you just see trauma come out?
Yeah. You know, and my best friends knew. Kate, your best friends knew too.
Oh, in middle school? Well,
my best friends would help me in school. Like, even with homework after school, my dad would be like, don't be doing Amber's homework for her. And I'd be like, let's go to my room. We got to do some homework. And she'd be helping me with my homework.
well, this is a little gist.
Yeah.
Our biological dad and mom got divorced when I was 4.
Yeah.
So we moved to Concord.
Don't tell them our city.
Oh. People can look you up and know where you live.
Okay.
I didn't say my address is beep, 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 beep. Anyway, we moved to California.
Yeah.
And it was just the 3 of us. And then mom started dating dad
Yep.
when I was in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And dad, not our biological dad, but he is our dad.
Yeah.
But they did not get married till we were 12. So when they got married, we moved, and we moved school districts. So when I started 6th grade, I didn't know anybody. And
Yeah.
that was really, really hard.
Yeah.
And that was the same year our biological dad died.
Yeah.
So I was having to go see a counselor.
Yep.
I was having to see a resource teacher because I had dyslexia, and I was being pulled out. And they really do like try to help you in public school by pulling you out. But listen, when they pull you out with the smartest kids in my class that were my friends, and they gave me the answers. They did all my answers for me.
They pulled you out.
Like it's sitting in the hallway. If I had a test, see, with me having
Oh, and they
dyslexia
would
and
say,
having
"Come
a
out here with her?"
IEP,
Yeah.
I got to have everything read. Well, the teacher didn't have time to read it to you, so they
you're-
pulled the smartest kid in the class that had it read the test to Angel.
I don't think you can do that anymore.
So I befriended all the smart kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In 6th grade. But then in 7th grade, it sort of changed a little bit, our friend group. And that's when I really met Evie and Kate. Not saying they're not smart. They are smart. But they weren't in any of my classes, obviously, because they were smarter than me. Then they put me in 6th grade. I was with the low kids.
Or 7th.
7th grade, I was with the low kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With everybody having issues.
Yeah.
Then I tried to cheat sometimes on spelling tests.
Oh, I never could do that.
It didn't work.
Yeah. I actually loved to learn, though. I think I loved school when I got it. Like when it
Yeah, I love it
clicked.
now.
Yeah, like it has to click. Like I get it when kids are like, I love school so much. Like how would you not love school? Yeah, when it clicks for you and you get it, you're like, I love school. Like, of course. But when you struggle with something, it's like someone struggling with a diet or someone struggling with exercise or struggling with finances. Then you don't want to mess with it or touch it because you're not good at it. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not a good place to be. It doesn't build your confidence. But so yeah, it's a lot. School.
I
The
feel
word school
like-
is triggering for me.
Yeah, I feel like a lot, like especially middle school, if they could have more classes to really figure out what like if we had a home ec class, but it was like putting a box cake mix in an ice cream cone and baking it and putting icing on top. That's really all it was. And you weren't in there all year. You were just in there for so many weeks. Like it rotated with like health class and that and other things.
Yeah.
But I remember we did something in math, and I really got fractions. And what's so weird now is fractions you use with bacon. I love bacon. And I'm like, back then, if I would have sort of known. But you don't.
Yeah, you don't know.
But anyway, I didn't like anything about school except eating lunch. And,
Because that's social time.
yeah, social. That's what I liked about it. But I was kind, and I was nice, and every teacher I had loved me.
Yeah.
And they sort of just pushed me through.
Yep.
Not that they did bad, but it wasn't like they were like, oh, she has an attitude. That's what her issue was. It was like, oh, she's so sweet. We just got to help her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's where I saw being kind and being, okay, all right, and maybe a little bit of a pushover.
Yeah.
Not saying teachers pushed me over, but I was just like, all right,
Yep. Yeah.
it got me through.
I was really quiet. I didn't speak out. I hated it. But I think that's why I get so mad at where the boys are at school now. I mean, they're at a great school, but anytime anything happens with a teacher, I am at a 10 and I'm walking in the school today. Like, you know what I mean? I just can't. I think because as a child, you can only speak up so much. You're a kid. But now I'm an adult. So you said what? You did what? we're going to do what? Like, I'm just like, mm-mm. And I don't really I'm not mad. I'm just very direct.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am not putting up with this. And so I schedule meetings and I do all types of stuff. Just, it's private. I think some people think public school, and I don't like public school. I will just tell you this. I would not put my boys in a public school. I just choose not to.
But some people can't choose.
I know. And I say that because I'm just like, I'm thankful I don't have to worry about that. It's either private school for us or they're going to be homeschooled.
Do you see what I just did? I was saying that to protect you. I was thinking, oh Lord, somebody's going to come
after me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There's so many reasons. Public school, I'm like, nope, can't do it. But private school is very limited in resources. It's like they have a lot of opportunities, but when it comes to anyone that needs extra help with anything, their resources are so limited, and that's why I have to speak out, And I'm like, no, this is what we're going to do. Like, no, this is what's going to happen, And then you have teachers there too that also advocate on your behalf as well, and that kind of go to bat for the whole situation. But school in a nutshell is tough. If you don't know what dyslexia is, Google it and read it. I think I get more annoyed. A lot of people in my life don't even know I'm dyslexic because I don't ever talk about it. I don't think it defines Angel and I actually know it doesn't define us as humans. I just think it's something that we just have. And we have learned how to cope with it. And we do life with it. And it doesn't stop us from doing things that we want to do,
Well, I have a couple facts. Dyslexia is hereditary.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that everybody that has it, you got it from someone in your family. But our biological father, I don't know if it was ever diagnosed, but he did not read.
Yep.
So obviously he had it. It has passed down to some of our kids. But also, most entrepreneurs,
yep,
I saw it was like 85% of them are dyslexic.
Yep. And you know why? And I hear this a lot. I follow somebody on Instagram that talks about dyslexia a lot. And I can't even remember the stats, but it does say that. It's like because you're creative. You're forced to learn different, so it makes you more creative. So if you notice anybody that is dyslexic, they're typically not working a desk job. Do you know what I mean? Like they're doing
well, because you would be creative. So bored.
Yeah, you can't do it.
I think it gives you a little bit of a go-get-em factor. Like you have to figure out how to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. At a young age, when you have it, you do figure like, oh, I'm not learning. This kid beside me really gets this, and I'm having a difficult time. So you have to learn how to figure out things.
Yeah, yeah.
And make it work. And I think that's when you have your own business, you have to do that too. You have to have that tenacity.
Yep.
Is that the right word?
Yep, tenacity. Yep, that's it. Yeah, more actors, actresses, people that are public figures definitely have come out and spoke about how they overcome having dyslexia or whatever. But anyways.
And it's different for everybody. Just because you have it doesn't mean everybody has it the same. There's a spectrum of it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think, I'll say this. I think it's annoying when people make light over it because, you know what bothers me a lot? Yeah, people make light over it like, oh, you know what I mean? They don't get it, which I don't expect everybody to get it, But then it bothers me so much when I was growing up, and I hear that people do this now too. Even some people like in our family would do this, but they don't realize they do it, or like a stranger or something. But like if you're doing something and then I don't know why, I'm trying to put my finger on why people actually say this.
Just say it, because I'm like, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's like, can you not read that? Read it. Like, do you know how people do that? Sometimes I'm trying to think of like a scenario.
Now as you're an adult?
Yeah, or you mean, I feel like people do it to kids more. Like I'll hear it like with our kids or whatever if they're in a situation.
But I think with kids, I don't think they would do that to you as an adult.
Like if they're like doing something, it's like, well, can't you read? Don't you read? Like I don't know when it ever happens, but it does happen.
Because if you've never struggled with reading, you don't think about, oh, everybody can read.
That could be a whole thing. Yeah. Or if like you said, oh my gosh, okay, when I I've always been like a smaller frame growing up, right? But then I got pregnant. Obviously, you get larger when you're pregnant because duh. After Tinley, got pregnant with her, lost weight quick with her. But then Maddox, I lost a ton of weight. I got down to like 107. I was like super, super skinny, but also diabetic. I think it had a lot to do with it. But then with Cruz, I gained a lot of weight, and then it took me a minute to lose a lot of weight with him. But I say this because in between both of those pregnancies, when I was so little, I was eating all the time. I was just burning. I don't know what was going on, but someone said to me, they were like, you need to eat a cheeseburger. Like, you are really thin, and I'm
But you weren't trying to be that thin.
Yeah. And I was like, that is so, are you okay? Like, why would you ever say that to somebody? They don't know what you're struggling with. You know what I mean? I didn't even think I was struggling with it, but I was like, I eat all the time. I wish I could gain weight, but I don't know why I'm losing it so fast. I wish I had that problem now. But like people, that's the same thing. It's like, if you say to somebody, oh my gosh, you need to lose weight. Oh my gosh, you need to work out. You need to build muscle. Like, you don't know what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
So shut up. I think that just when you struggle with something in your life, I think it makes you more sensitive to everything. If someone comes at someone in a way that they don't really know they are, but I'm like, think before you speak.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. You know what I mean? It's not okay. Yeah, that just got me a little heated. You felt that?
Trigger.
Our mom hates the word trigger. She said, I'm triggered by your triggers. Yeah. You've brought up our biological dad a lot. I didn't think you were going to do this, but people are probably going to wonder. But I will just say this, because I think in one episode, I don't know when I'm going to feel led to do it, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about like my life in a sense. But he was not a good guy. So I just want to like paint that picture so people know like what happened to him.
But hold on a minute. I want to say that I think he could have been a good guy.
He could have. He had great potential.
I think he chose drugs.
Yeah, and that screwed him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was really...
Do you see how I always want to come back and say the...
She's like, by the way, our family might be listening.
He has family that we don't really talk... You know what I mean? I don't want to...
I think we have siblings we've never met.
We did a video today, but I'm going to do a DNA test. When I get that, we can come back. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say
But I'm scared that all of a sudden all these people are going to come out of the woodwork like I have...
But you know what you have to think about? They also have to do the DNA test. You just can't like do
Maybe
it and expect. But so if they haven't done it, they haven't done it. I always think about that. I'm like, because how else would you know? But and also my mom's going to be on the podcast at some point. So we'll see what she wants to talk about because it's her story. But he was really good to her up until they got married, and then it turned bad, and then he just wasn't a nice dude, So, and he died in a horrible circumstances by. Do you want to tell him?
I mean, you want me to tell the story?
If you want.
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
I said, you about to cry?
No.
They got divorced when I was 4. So we moved to get away from him. Let's just say that. And then he was in and out. He went to prison a couple times. And I don't know what for. I know some of it was drugs, but I don't know if there was other things going on. But, and I'm older than you. So he died at 12. And I think the last time I saw him, I don't know how many months it was before he died. But we did not see him on a regular basis of like every other weekend. Or once a month.
Nope.
And there might have been 10 to 15 times from 5 to 12 that I saw him. And
right.
I think I'm being generous with that thing. But anyway, so I can bring this story into a little bit. Let's do a little backup.
Are you going deep?
No, just I'm about to say
I'm
like
now, I don't know where you
my mom and stepdad got married. Not stepdad. He is our dad because he just took that role. He's been in my life since I was in kindergarten. So, and they got married when I was 12. I was 12 years old. I was in 6th grade.
Yep.
So they got married the year he passed away.
Which is insane when you think about, which is kind of a great thing. Can you imagine if he was still living and they were married? I feel like he would have been
I'm going to say this and I'm going to be just real honest. I'm glad he's not.
Living?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have been clean, and I don't think it would have been a healthy relationship. And I'm glad. I know this sounds real sad to say, but let me just say this. If anybody's watching this and you have an addiction problem and you have kids, it's not just your problem. It's your kids too. Like,
Yeah.
that stuff comes on. Like, it affects entire families. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It affects.
Yeah.
But the one thing I do want to say is I think back when I was little, this is just from hearsay of Mom, and she can get into all that if she wants to. But I think sometimes when you do have a child, you do have a brother or sister, you do have someone in your family, sometimes you don't always want to see the real them. And sometimes you don't want to admit people have a problem. And I think that was a lot of that. That's why, anyway, that's some trigger. But anyway, so he liked drugs. And I think it was cocaine.
Yeah, he got pulled over and he swallowed a couple bags
Yeah.
to hide it, and he ended up in a coma.
The last bag burst and exploded, and he had a seizure, went into a coma. He was in a coma about 30 days. My grandmother, she is no longer living now. She was a sweet lady. I love her. No bad intent. That was his mama. You know what I mean? She did reach out to my mom and wanted us to come to the hospital. My mom, that was her decision to not let us see him and go up there. I'm thankful she made that decision. I'm glad that was not our last. We went to the funeral, but I'm glad I didn't go to the hospital and see him laying on his deathbed.
Yeah.
I was 12 years old.
I know. Yeah.
You were younger than me.
You
That
were
was
1
just
year
not
older than Maddox.
Yeah,
that's
like
a
that
lot.
was. But going to his funeral, we did go to his funeral. They wanted us to stay with the family. But we went and saw him at the church before the funeral, saw him, and I wanted to leave. I think Mom let me make that decision. I'm like, I don't want to stay. Like, it was just, it's emotional. Your dad is your biological parent, is your parent, no matter what. He was our parent, even though he wasn't in our life that much. And what I wanted to tie back into this, saying he wasn't a good guy, I think that he had some good in him, because the last time we saw him, we were sitting on our aunt's porch. He lived with them. And I think it was Mom and, I'm going to say John. I don't call him John. I call him Dad. But I'm going to say that so y'all know who I'm talking about. Mom and John, they were married at the time, were coming to pick us up. And me and him were sitting on the swing on the front porch. And he said, listen, he's going to be a good daddy to you. He's been a better daddy than I have. No, you love him. And I don't know if Mom made any kind of thing about, because I remember the day they got married, we cried. I did not want to get married. Not that I didn't want her to marry him. It was like, I think I knew things are changing. It's not the three of us, because they never lived together. We had our own apartment. He had his own apartment. So it's like the whole transition of, he was over a lot. They dated. But I mean, we still had our own homes. You know, are you about to cry?
Yeah, this is a lot.
Do you not know this story?
No, it's fine.
Oh.
It's just, I did not, first of all, Angel was like, we're not going to go this. We're not going to talk about
this. I'm not going any deeper than this. But anyway, he said, I'm surprised I'm not crying, because I feel like I'm the more emotional one sometimes. He said, he loves you. He's been a better daddy to you than I ever can, ever will. So love him. I'm so thankful he's taking care of y'all. He's taking care of your mom. He's taking care of you.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that.
And I was maybe 11.
See, our stories are so different.
You're 4
because
years younger
I know,
than me.
I know.
So you weren't having a conversation, even though at that age. And I don't know if I said to him, you know, when you have parents that get divorced, even young age, I don't know if I said, I hate him. I don't like him. You know how kids sometimes were like, I'm with her, and so I'm playing her. I'm with him, I'm going to play. You know, you want your parent to love you. So I don't know if I said something for him to trigger that, if that just came out. I don't know. But that's the last conversation I had with him. That's the last time we saw him. And then when he died, you know, he was our dad and I loved him. He was 37 when he died, 36 or 37. But the thing is, he chose drugs. That was his choice. That was what he chose over everything. And so he didn't have his kids, and he didn't have his wife, and he didn't. And that's what stinks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not saying he wouldn't have changed, but I would want him to be alive if he was going to change. But if he was still doing drugs and still doing the things, I don't think that we could ever had a good relationship, a father-daughter relationship. I don't think it would ever been there.
Yeah.
And I do think, did he have other kids? Because
I really think we do have other siblings because he slept around a lot. And
how do you know that if you just saying that?
because stories.
Okay.
Mom. I mean, I'm not just making it up, but I mean, I wasn't there like that. You know, I was little. But I do remember things. I experienced stuff too that it's really
Let's not.
lot. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm in therapy for this stuff like that. I'm not going there. And I don't know if I ever will. I just feel like the reason I wanted this platform to do this podcast is to talk about things that just people can listen and smile and have a good time. But also, if
I
it
feel
goes
like we've
deep,
been a little.
if it goes deep, it goes deep. Do you know what I mean? You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, it's relatable. And everybody's family has things, you know? And I find that, like, you can look at your life and be like, oh my gosh, Angel's just so sweet. She has, like, the perfect little family. And they're all the things. But you have no idea, like, what really has happened or things that people deal with every day and struggles. And I just think, yeah, it's good to talk about it, you know? So people can relate a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Yep. But yeah, I do think we have siblings. I really do. I have said that for years. I'm like, shoot, I probably have brothers and sisters out there. Girl. Yeah. Wouldn't that be something?
Mm-hmm. And my dad's like brothers and sisters, we are all friends on social media. So, and we do every once in a while, how are y'all doing? You know, that kind of stuff. So it's not like that we're not in their lives. It's just we don't get together for Christmas and birthdays and stuff like that. But
yeah. And Angel and I have our reasons on why. Like, a mom left it up to us, which I think is so good for a parent. If your kids, if like the family like went through something like that, then you are like, you don't force your kids to be like, you have to go see that family. You know what I mean? That side of the family. You're just like, do you want to go? Do you want to call them? Let your kids choose, because I don't regret anything.
Well, we did go spend the weekend. It might have been a week. It might have been the weekend. I don't know. After my dad died. And I don't know how long. I know it was that year, but I don't know when it was. It might have been that summer.
That was the last time we went.
Yes. And they were great and it was wonderful. But when you're not with somebody all the time and you don't have that relationship, they still had his bedroom and had the picture of us and a wedding picture. It just felt really weird to me. And it wasn't that they did anything. It's just when you're a kid and you're 12. And sometimes, you know, I wish, like, I'm glad Mom didn't make us stay for the funeral and that kind of stuff. I think that would have been more triggering. But I wish that we would have seen them more and she would have, like,
hey, let's meet at the park and let you see
that
them.
relationship. But it wasn't like we were so close, you know?
Yeah, it wasn't an hour up the street either.
Yeah. And then when you get grown and you have your own family and your own kids, it's like you get busy and you do, I don't know. It's just, there's good and bad about everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always something that you wish you could go change or do different. Mm-hmm. But I think that just comes with time and age and growth and.
Yep. And when our grandmother passed, we were there for that.
Yeah.
We knew what was kind of going on for the most part. You know, like, we're not in the dark about stuff, but we're not like actively. It's funny because you can have family and not see those family members all the time. So that's kind of how it is. But we are half Lumbee, you guys. Okay. Hashtag Lumbee on TikTok. Are you my brother?
I'm sure we have a brother or sister out there.
Yeah, and Angel and I, honestly, I know we don't look the same, but I look like my mom, like features and things, but the coloring is like all like my dad's coloring.
And I feel like I look more like him.
Angel looks just like him, and her coloring is mom's.
Not just like, but I mean, my nose, there's certain things, certain things that I have of him.
Yeah. So, it's crazy, y'all. Great. You know what? Girl, I didn't know it was going to go this way. Okay, we do play a game, this or that. Okay. So you, normally I have my phone. I don't even know where it's at right now, but I normally have a list of this or that. So you can just ask me, would you rather this or that? And I'll just ask you questions.
You go first.
Okay. Would you rather have coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay, elaborate. Why?
I just drink coffee. I drank tea with you tonight, but it's not I want tea when it's really, really cold and I can't have any more caffeine, and I can do like a flavored tea.
Like a hot tea on a cold day.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
like in the
okay.
winter if it snows. I like sort of that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Or if you know your throat a little,
like
that
you're
kind of
sick.
stuff. But I like coffee. I could drink 3 cups of coffee a day.
This flavor, though, tastes so good to me. I'll reheat this because it got cold now. But it's so good.
It's good.
Yeah. Mint, chamomile, lavender, little monk fruit for sweetener, and lemon juice. Stop it. It's good.
Okay, would you rather have a date night in or out?
In. Yeah. I like to order in or cook in and I want the date night. I want to sit in the bed and watch a movie. I like the bed. I think it's very cozy because you got blankets, you're in your own space, and then you don't have to worry about driving home.
Yeah.
Like you're done. It's done. If I want to do a date out, I want it during the day. I don't actually prefer to do nighttime dates.
Me either. I'm like that too.
Yeah. I don't know why when we were kids it was like, yeah, go out at night. But now I'm like, no.
Because I think you like a curfew and it's like, oh yeah, I don't have to be home till 11 o'clock or midnight, whenever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Bump that. Mm-mm.
When you get old, you just want to be home.
Facts.
Can we go out to eat at 4?
And it's your own home.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different than like your mom and dad's home. Yeah. Okay, this or that. Let me think of another one. Gosh, what's another one? This is why I always have to have my list with me.
When you die, do you want to be cremated or just buried in a
I wanted to do a casket opened, full glam. But now as I'm older, I want to be...
Who's going to do your glam?
I don't know. Somebody better slap it on good. They better look at a picture of me and do a great daggum job. But now I'm not going to do it. I want to be cremated, and I want to have full, like, blow-up cutouts of me, and I want there to be a party. I don't want it to be, like, at a funeral home. I want it to be, like, at our home, and I want you to have...
Like back in the day, how they used to do in people's houses?
Yeah, I want you to have a party. I don't want you to be like, oh my gosh, I miss her so much. Like, you can say you miss me. I want you to have balloons. I want you to have cake. I want you to celebrate my life because I'm with Christ, honey. I'm in heaven. Hallelujah. I want you to celebrate my life. Mm-hmm. But then if Alan gets remarried, I'm going to haunt him.
That's what I was about to say.
I will haunt him.
And see, I've said this. I've said, if I die before Mark, you know it's different when you... I mean, I hope we both die and we're in our 90s. You know what I mean? And see all our kids and grandkids and all that stuff. I don't think I want to live to 105.
Oh, that's such a great time. 105?
You'll be sitting in your chair all by yourself.
You don't know. I'm going to have...
You have 2 boys.
I know.
You'll be sitting by yourself. That's what happens. The boys leave.
That's so sad.
Not meaning they don't come see you, but it's different. Daughters are different. They are.
Cremated or casket?
I got off subject.
For you?
I think cremated.
Yeah.
Because I don't care.
I don't care. I'm like, don't be burying me in the ground. Yeah, and I want you to actually carry my urn around where you move.
Yeah.
What if, like, I'm buried in one state, but you have to move, like, hours away? Are you ever going to come see my plot? No. Please.
You mean you want them to keep their urn in your house?
Yes, take the urn with you.
No, bury it. No.
Bury the urn?
Yes, bury me.
You better keep that
Cremate
urn.
me and bury me.
No, keep it in your closet.
Bury me when Mark dies and we'll be buried together.
Huh? I'm not burying your urn. I'm keeping it.
That's what they did with Papa John and Grammy.
Well, I'm not cremating you and then putting you in a plot. I'm taking you and putting you in my closet.
I know somebody that knows somebody that her husband passed away.
Oh, gosh.
And that she carried him everywhere she went. In his little urn. She put it in her bag.
Yeah.
When she went driving, she got in a wreck.
What happened?
And she said, my husband's in the trunk. And EMS was like, there ain't no body back here. There ain't no body. And she's like, he's cremated. It's his urn.
Oh.
She took him everywhere. I don't want Mark to take me.
Somebody that knows somebody.
Yeah, I just can't say.
You'll tell me off? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. My husband's in the trunk. Oh, what? Okay, we're going to end on this. What happened? This or that game. I don't have my list. It sounds great. But what happened today? We're at the table and I was like, oh, we got to bring that up. Oh, Lumbee. So ChatGPT, y'all, everybody uses chat. It's so funny. And I told Angel about it a couple months ago and she loves it, which is so good. So she's like voice texting, which she told y'all. So we're outside and she's like, give me hashtags for Lumbee that will go viral, whatever. So it gives her hashtags. She's reading them and it's like, body confidence.
And I don't remember what the other one. I was like, what?
Yeah, it said like body confidence, but
something size, something.
It was about like your body and so. And I looked at Angel. I was like, were Lumbees curvy?
And I was like, it says lumpy.
Yeah, it thought she said lumpy, not Lumbee. Oh my,
it was
we're
funny.
Dead. All right. Well, where can everybody follow you?
TikTok, I am Angel Cakes by Angel. Facebook, I am Angel Williams. And Instagram, I'm Angel Cakes by Angel too. I think you can search me on all platforms, Angel Cakes by Angel.
Okay.
And it pulls up. It's just and I am Angel Cakes, and I do have an Angel Cakes page on Facebook, but Facebook will not let me open up Messenger. So that's why I use my Angel Williams. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, y'all give this podcast a 5-star review. Thank y'all so much for being here. Subscribe if you also watch us on YouTube, because we do have the video form. Unless you're just all about the audio, then of course we got you on all those platforms. But this was so much fun. Thank you, Angel, for being here, my sister.
You're welcome.
Now y'all know who she is. And it is late, so we are out, you guys. But hope you had fun.